Welcome to the NFL Picks versus the Spread show. I'm from the Lingus Mafia podcast at Lingus Mafia. My name is Cav Manning. And as usual, my cohort, he is the owner and proprietor of the Dirty Sheets. And he is found at Dirty Sheets.com or at Lock Betting. He is Mr. Billy Body.
Why are we doing owner and proprietor thing?
Because I like to troll fucking nerds over at Steel Cage.
I don't think they listen to this.
No, it is fun to do. And I mean, I tweeted out today. I just tweet out shit that says, I bet you Derek Montilla is so angry he's eating an apple through a fence today. That's all I do. Because I just know he hears his name and he will look it up. The same way I actually got a like for a tweet I sent out by Perez Hilton. Because I said his name in a tweet. I didn't tag him. I said his name. And I go, wow, someone else besides Derek Montilla must have the same fucking alert where if your name is spelled somewhere, you get a Google alert that says your name was said. It makes sense for Perez Hilton at least. But not for a fucking Derek Montilla. But I laughed because it was like an insulting thing. And he liked it.
So guess what? You were right about something.
What's that?
The podcast charts got updated today.
The podcast stats got updated.
Yeah.
Okay.
And podcast on a poll is now in the top 20.
There you go.
Steve Austin got knocked off number 1.
Well, it sure as fuck should. That's why I almost don't believe the stats because how is that possible?
Right. And they're up to date, and you'll know why when I send you number 1.
Okay.
In our position. So be ready.
All right. Well, this is an NFL Pick'em show, by the way, everyone.
Oh yeah, this is.
But this is our baby that we're involved with. Oh, that is fucking funny as hell. That the number one show.
Well, because obviously she plugged it all this week, so they.
And it's a brand new show that everyone signed up for. Yeah. Renee Paquette now, not Young. Oral Sessions is number 1 on the podcasting chart, which is hilarious. Does she interview wrestlers? Because I thought this was just her shooting the shit. I don't know why it's in wrestling, unless it has to do with wrestlers. And we're number 16 though.
Check this out for a bit. So obviously the Dirty Sheets comes out on Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So on the days we have shows out, we go up. Check this out.
Why does it say -1? So we were at 15 the other day?
We're at 50. It updates hourly.
No shit.
Or it updates every day. So yeah, yesterday we might have got to. I don't know actually.
So we're up from 107 to 87 on the Dirty Sheets.
No. We're up.
Up 107 points to 87.
Yeah,
even more.
When we do a show, we go up. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
So podcast on a poll, most likely on whatever metric it's done on, towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the month, once until the new show comes out, it's going to drop out of the top 20 or even 50.
Did you see where my Lingus Mafia podcast is ranked? Did you see these numbers?
I saw it was ranked really high in Bermuda.
In Cambodia.
Cambodia.
Yes, my show is 130th in Cambodia, and it was 113th in Cambodia for comedy. I'm telling you, I'm taking Cambodia by storm. Maybe I'll run for Congress of Cambodia. How about that? Maybe I could. I don't even know what continent Cambodia's on. To be honest, they eat people over in fucking Cambodia. That's what I fucking know of Cambodia. But podcast on a poll, everyone. If you want to hear our new sensational show, look up Podcast on a Poll. It's once a month with Vince Russo, and we are 16 as of right now. And Renee is giving oral, so she's number 1. You can't deny that. Can't deny it.
To buy an advert on Renee's show. True
life. You imagine. So our picks last week. It was a rough one last week. Even when it was just straight up like I do with people, where it's just winners and losers. I was 7-7 with just that. So I did win some. I did lose some when it came all down to shit, and it wasn't. lot of the teams won, but then they didn't cover, shit like that. So it wasn't a fantastic week at all. I jumped on this week already with something that already got removed. I jumped on Pittsburgh because they were only giving 5 when I jumped on it. So I was like, oh, shit, they're going to be... Fuck, the whole fucking Ravens have COVID. And now they've moved that Thursday game, which was the game to watch. Because the other 2 that we're going to give you for Thursday are fucking horrific. And we'll start with that right off the bat because it's Houston going into Detroit. Houston is 3-7. Detroit is 4-6. Now, I heard the spread on the radio today. I nearly pulled over the car to bet on it before the fucking thing got taken away. Because
this is interesting. I want to see what way you go with this.
I heard that Detroit was... that Houston was giving fucking points. And I thought this was fucking crazy. I was like, Detroit's not favored in this game? I fucking threw down $50 on this game immediately. And I took away the points. How about that, Billy? I fucking went and took money line instead because it was more money for me. I said, I don't want the points. Detroit is winning this game flat out. And this might be my lock before I even look at any other games. I mean, for me to throw $50 on a game, I don't do that often. I do 20s.
Well, let's talk about your reason. Oh, you know, mybookie.ag sponsored a sports gambling podcast.
Really? That's where I gamble.
I don't think you do because there's an offer there that's really good at the moment. So,
but that's for new signups, right?
No, so that's the thing. So there's the sign-up offer is they'll match your first deposit up to $1,000.
Sure.
Right? So they halfway match it. So if you put $2,000 in your account, they give you $1,000. So I mean that's for real big bets. I mean if you put 500 in, more realistically, you get 250 for free. So but for this game, it's if you bet $250 on this game, if you lose, you get your $250 back.
Jesus.
As a free bet for something else. But if you win, you win.
That's pretty good. I mean, a lot of them do that for that sign-up thing. And I'm like, fuck.
No, that's not a sign-up thing. That's for existing members. So the sign-up offer is separate. So you get your deposit matched, plus everybody gets the offer of no, you cannot lose on the Texans and Detroit game. Yeah.
Well, shit, I gotta go on there again because I don't see anything that tells me this when I fucking go on.
You actually really do use mybookie.ag?
Yes.
Oh.
That's the only one I fucking use. That's the only one I can use.
Yeah, it's a Turkey Day sign-up. So, but you got to take this. I think you got to get against the spread, so you will have to take the 3.
Okay.
But you won't mind that. So, like, yeah, if you do, I mean, you might as well do the maximum because you'll get it back anyway.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, if you bet like 100 on Detroit plus 3 and they lose, then you just get the 100 back to bet on something else. I think it is a bet. Like, it's not cash back, but I think it's a bet. But still, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta put it in, and they ask you, do you want to put it in fucking Bitcoin, for God's sake? But I say no, I want fucking real money. That's what I would do. But that's crazy to me that they would. I'm like, I don't see this at all with Houston. I mean, it is Detroit. I mean, it is what it is. It's hard to say I'm putting my world on Detroit. That's like saying Atlanta. But I really was very confident in this, where I was like, what the fuck? So I jumped on that. And there was another one that I know of, and that is the Sunday night game. And that's our team. It is
cash. It's not like a free fucking token or nothing. It's a risk-free $250. Pick the right team and you win. If your team is upset, your bet up to $250 is refunded before the next game. So you just do get the cash back. They just want you to be on the site. They just want you to be there. So it's not just for new people.
I'll look again because everything I hear is always these new shit. But I'll look and see, because if that's the case, I'll put everything I have on it.
Because the new offer is still going on. The new offer of
sign up.
Sign up and get your deposit matched halfway. Plus, they've got Thanksgiving Day Thursday, which is this one. But it's called Thanksgiving. It's called Turkey Day Pre-Play, which is this one. Black Friday boosted odds on Friday, and then buy one get one free Cyber Monday Night Football as well. They're doing this week.
See, no, maybe you know what? That's the difference. I think I don't do my bookie. I do betonline.ag, not my bookie. Now, and here's the problem with my bookie, and I'll tell you the truth about them, because I do have an account with them that I don't use anymore. You have to have, I think it's a minimum of $500 in the account to be able to take it back. If you have $250 in your account and say, I need my $250, you cannot take it. You have to take it when it gets to a certain limit. That's what pissed me off about them.
Why don't you put 250 more in there?
But that's a fucking... You think you could cheat the system like that? I don't know if you can. I mean, fuck, that'd be an easy way to do it, wouldn't it? If I had $100 in there, I just throw in 400 and then go, okay, now I'll take it all. There's something weird to it, because it's a lot of that you have to jump through a hoop to get your fucking money. And that's what bothers me about a lot of... Like, depending what state you're in here in United States. In California, they say gambling is legal now. However, shit has not gone through or something, so I can't do DraftKings over here. If I go to Illinois, I could do it, but I can't do it here. It's fucking whack. I'm like, just give me fucking a betting website. And I got to jump through a fucking hoop with betonline.ag. That's the one I fucking do. So... You know, and I only do it pretty much during football season. I'm done after that, but I'm trying to build up. I'm trying to get to like fucking because I started with 100, and I got to like just 450, I think, throughout all the bets, and I was like, well, when I get to 5, I wanted to take out 400, and then keep 100 in there to keep gambling. But I was like, I got to get to 5, and I did, and that's when I had a bad week, and it shot me the fuck back down. And I built myself back up, so now I'm just over 300 now in there. So, with these couple bets, because I did put money on the Packers this week, and
see that way, the way you're talking about, sounds like it would create more. If I had that, I would have more discipline. I think it'd be like, because it feels like you're actually trying to achieve something. It's like, whereas I just bet and that's it. Like, it's just. I think we have it too easy here.
See,
it's more designed here for you to lose more money, I think.
You see, and also I'm like, all right, if I come out of this football season with more than $100, I'm winning because I only put in 100. So I've always been above my thing where I'm like, I haven't had to deposit anything since the first day of football. I've had money in it because I keep winning stuff, and you lose a little bit, but I'm still well ahead of the game, which makes me very happy. I go, okay, if I end up pulling out 300 at the end of the fucking year, that's $200 that I didn't have in the first place. So I try to look at it like that, and I know you do 100 on bets at a time where I'm like, oh, I grab my chest when I see you do that shit. That's too much stress for me to watch a fucking game and have a guy run out at the 1 yard line when I fucking add $100 on something. I'd kill people.
I did pretty well on Sunday. I did not do well on Monday night and Sunday night. Like Sunday night football and Monday night football fucked up my week. But I made profit this week because I was in such a fucking huge lead on Thursday, and because Sunday afternoon didn't go badly because I had Texans and I had Cleveland, and everybody else had Eagles. Yeah. And the Patriots.
Me too.
And I don't understand why they had the fucking Eagles and Patriots.
I didn't have Eagles. I did have Patriots that I fucked myself on. You were like, I told you the fucking... And I'm like, I just felt it.
I was so like on board with Houston. Like, I wish it had been my lock. But my lock in the end ended up being fucking... my lock was actually the same as you. And I even like benefited... I never bet on that comeback, but my clients did. So even in the afternoon where we were on the wrong side of the Miami game.
Yeah.
So we're losing the fucking Miami game and we're losing the Minnesota game. So we're getting fucked on those two games.
Yeah.
But they were like half the size in terms of half the stakes. to the Indianapolis Colts because me and you had it. It was the lock.
Yeah.
So I had more money on it, and then the Colts ended up coming back, saving my evening. So I got away with everything.
Isn't it weird you're rooting against your own team? It's so odd.
I wasn't rooting against them. I just
you were like, I don't care if I lose this money. I've changed, I think, because I told my boss today, I go, oh, I put fucking $50 on the Packers. And he goes, against the Bears, you hate them. You fucking hate them. And I go, MOB, money over bitches, motherfucker. I go, I think with my head, and I'd rather have money than have them win. They don't, it's the line from Bronx Tale. Mickey Mantle doesn't give a fuck about you. Why do you give a fuck about him? I want my money.
I don't bet against my teams, but if my clients have them, I have to give the clients the right bets. Like there's a team in England called Liverpool I absolutely hate, but last year I bet on them to win the league. So for my clients, it's like good. And then obviously in this situation, I didn't bet the game, but I knew my clients needed Colts to win, so it wasn't as bad. I'd prefer Green Bay to win, but I mean, if we're in a situation, if Minnesota were covering and Miami Dolphins were covering, then I wouldn't be bothered. I'd be like, okay, so we can take this loss because I want us to be the number one seed in the NFC because it's the only way I get to see Packers in the Super Bowl because they're not going to win any road games in the playoffs, as evident by this game where they couldn't win a road game from 17.
I think this year's road games are a joke anyway. I mean, when it comes down to it, I do understand that weather might help.
Yeah, of course. Obviously the fact. That's obviously the factor.
It's the only thing.
Yeah, when the weather comes into it, but yeah, we can't do it otherwise. But yeah, in this situation, I had a good morning. I got away with it in the evening, and then I really ate away into all of my good work from Thursday by fucking up the picks for Kansas and Tom Brady, who's he's fucking dumb.
It's so funny. I could tell when you bet money on things because I'll get texts. Billy roots for death. He's like, Tom Brady is the biggest pile of shit, and I just know how to fuck with Billy back because I just make up nonsense and I stay with it, and I tell him, look at Tom, precision, walking down the field, like laser tag, nailing people, and he's like, what are you fucking talking about? They ran the ball the whole time, and they got the ball at the 30, and I go, perfect, this guy, fantastic, the GOAT, walking down the field, and he's like, you're a faggot if you see this. You're screaming at me. And so I just always come back with, man, that guy who's so bad out there, he whooped Rodgers earlier this year. I don't know. It's just so easy.
Because you got that like love for him. That's why.
Yeah, that's my guy. And like I said, hey, Howard Stern was the greatest of all time. He's not right now. The same with Tom, the greatest of all time. He is not the best in the league right now. And God, that game was horrible. He was missing things, which scares me about this week that we'll get into because it's the same as I think like with the Packer thing. The worst thing that could happen to the Bears was that the Packers lose the week before. And then you go, that ain't going to happen twice, though. That's what you always think. You go, when someone's really good, you go, they're going to be pissed. And they're going to want to make a point of fucking beating the shit out of the next team. Which is always like I had told you when Tampa played the Packers. I said, worst thing that happened was that the Bears beat fucking Tampa because now they're going to be pissed. And then fucking they go off. So we'll get to that game. What is your thought about the Detroit and Houston one since I am all over Detroit?
I agree with you.
Okay, good.
I don't. It's such an overreaction to Detroit scoring 0. And Houston beating the Patriots. What it is basically, so the Patriots was the second most bet game last week, I believe. I know all of the top 5 lost, and I was so worried when I was on the number 1 game, which I think was Kansas City. Kansas City minus 7, I think, if I'm correct. I know I was on it because I immediately remember thinking, oh shit, because I don't want to be on the same side as the most bet game. But never. This is the first week that.
Yeah, you did. I marked you down. It was that Indy, the Arizona, Seattle. Those were your thoughts right off the bat. I marked down every time you.
Yeah. But I'm saying the public bets, the top 5 public bets.
I got you.
They're going like 2 and 3 every week. Cav, this week they went 0 and 5. The top 5 public bets. Kansas City didn't cover. Patriots lost. They were second. So who else? Bengals. Bengals were in the top 5. They lost. So looking at that, I was immediately worried. And so a lot of people, when they lose and they watch, so they bet a game heavily. They watch it and they lose, and they think they didn't lose because they're morons. They lost because, that team's actually really good. That team's I'm going to ride this team now. I'm going to ride the team that beat me. And that's the problem. Like, you see, there's teams that when you take them, you lose. And then when you fade them, you lose. Like, there was a period where I've experienced it as well. I took Green Bay to beat the 49ers, remember?
Yeah.
As a lock, as my first loss of the whole year. And I was like, fucking hell, like, they are garbage. And when I had the opportunity to lay Baltimore off a loss against Pittsburgh, where they dominated the yardage going into Patriots, I was like, this is the easiest play. This team's shit. They've given up. Cam Newton's finished. Belichick can't do it without Brady. Brady can't do it without Belichick. This is an easy play. And then they fucking beat them. So there's some teams where you just can't get them right. But what I did is I stuck with the Patriots being shit this week. So I got it right. So I lost with San Francisco, lost with Baltimore, but then this week it could have gone completely wrong. I could have just had a complete no sense of what the Patriots are. But I didn't go shit good, shit good, because when I thought they were good, they were shit, and when I thought they were shit, they were good, and I didn't go back to thinking they were good again. That's the public mistake.
Yeah.
So what the public did this, the public all were on Baltimore -7, and they lost. They thought the Patriots were good, and they went on to the Patriots, and they lost. And now they think the Texans are good, so I expect the Texans.
That's how it works.
It is. You see it. You see it in the money percentages every week. So I'm going to not going to continue on with a team that won money for me last week, and I'm going to come off the Texans for no reason at all. Stafford could be injured. They just put up 0 against the Panthers, who let you pass it to whoever you want. Like, there's no reason for it at all. It's just a complete public fade. Plus, I think Detroit play well on this day traditionally.
I don't even know. I mean, they've been bad for so fucking long. I couldn't tell you when they fucking win a game.
I don't think they win the games, but I think their spread number is the spread number covering the number is okay.
The Redskins are 3-7, and they're going into Dallas, who's 3-7 tomorrow as well. And I don't want anything to do with this game. I will take Dallas to win the fucking thing. I'm not jumping up and down by it, and I think Dallas is probably favored by 3.
Yeah, Dallas is favored by 3.
Okay.
Hold on, no, that's changed. So both games have changed. Should have been on the ball. Patriots. Detroit are now 3.5.
Really? See, I when I saw it and bet it and just did the money line, they were 2. Detroit was getting 2, and I was like, no. I'm getting on that while it's still, but now it's even more.
Detroit are getting 3.5.
Jesus.
And the Cowboys are laying 2.5.
2.5. Oh man. I mean, like I said, I would take Dallas, but I don't know if I want to really bet it. They're one of those teams that you could say, oh yeah, I could understand how they would kill Washington, and then there's the other side where you go, I won't be surprised if they get killed.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with Dallas. I don't want to be in that situation where I'm on Dallas and I get fucked for it.
I did do a parlay of these three games that there's no longer 3 games, but I did do a parlay, and it was $5 getting me fucking $37. So I was like, fuck it, for $5, and I took and these were all with points. Detroit, Dallas, and Pittsburgh. Those are the three. And so I got money on that.
The thing you got to ask yourself, the question is how did Dallas fucking win that game?
I don't think Washington has offense, but at the same time, like you said,
no. How did Dallas win the game? How did they beat the Vikings? Who beat Packers and Bears and have been running the ball.
They're running, yeah. And then
also, so what? Dallas can now stop the run because they couldn't stop anything before.
That is an issue. I don't know if it was just the way. I mean, I didn't study that game and sit there watching that one per se. I mean, they happened to walk down at the end, but as we know, I can't believe the Bears lost to fucking Minnesota, and even more so, I can't believe the Packers lost to fucking Minnesota. People started thinking, "Oh, Minnesota's good again," and then they lose to fucking Dallas. So I don't know.
I didn't think Dallas would win another game all season.
Oh,
I thought they would just tank it completely.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. I don't believe they tank on purpose. Like, I can't imagine the player going, I hope we lose. Because it's their jobs who they're losing. It's not like, I mean, they'll get somebody to replace that person. So it's not like they go, I'm going to help the team lose and drop the ball. Okay, well, I'll cut your ass and have someone who catches a fucking ball. So I don't think anybody, like, lays up and doesn't try to win. And the same with the coaches. Their job's on the fucking line. They can't go, well, I'm going to fucking round here. You know, so I never think it's tank on purpose. At worst, I see them not playing people who are very good. And, like, I'm having the second string play. They can play as hard as they want. They're no good. Me and you can get in the fucking game. We're not NFL quality. We could play as hard as we want. We're going to fucking lose. I think that's more of a tank type of thing where you just put in backups. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, we'll talk about them since they've got moved. They were going to be the third game, and everybody has COVID on the Ravens. The two guys, two running backs that they have. And so they decided to move it. And I grabbed it. It was 5 at the point, and now I don't even see it. So I don't know what they're going to do and how they're going to change the number. It might actually be a little bit closer if they wait till then and they're eligible to play. But I really don't see them. Originally, I would have thought Baltimore had a chance to finally get a win on Pittsburgh here and give them their first loss earlier this season. In the last 2 games, Baltimore's looked like dog shit. So I'm not putting any faith in them, and I think Pittsburgh should easily handle them.
Yeah, there was a time where, after the last game, where Pittsburgh lost to Baltimore, I thought they're going to get them next time. Like, they've got a schedule
You
where
mean Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Baltimore lost to Pittsburgh, where they out-yarded him and stuff, and I thought they'll get them next time.
Same with me.
By the time Week 12 comes around, they would have been still winning their games, and the division will still be on the line, and they'll beat them. I don't think that anymore.
Nope.
I think Pittsburgh will go 14-2, but I don't think this is a game that they'll lose.
Who are they going to lose to? Do we have a schedule in front where you can see who the hell they're even going to lose to?
I'll get it up now, but this is from what I worked out before. I had them at 13-3, and then I've taken away the Ravens win. So that just okay. So they're at home to the Ravens and home to Washington.
Another 2 wins.
And they're away to the Bills.
That's
away to the Steelers. Away to the Bengals. Sorry. At home to the Colts, and away to the Browns.
It would have to be Colts and Bills, possibly Browns, depending which Browns show up. That's the only ones I could even that have a chance. They literally could run the table and then lose in the playoffs. I don't think they beat Kansas City. I don't know if anybody beats Kansas City, to tell you the truth.
What game did I have them losing? I guess.
Probably wasn't Indy. It had... Fuck.
No, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't Indy.
Yeah.
I thought their schedule was tougher than this, to be honest.
I really think... You know what? I wonder if you could put money on them right now to undefeated in the season, but then to lose.
Yeah, I mean, the Bills... on the road, I guess maybe I had
That's
that one.
it. Yeah, I mean, and then it's which Bills show up. We've seen them look like dog shit.
The Colts, because the Colts is a home game. I don't think they'll. I think they could lose that last game because I think the Browns will just play harder.
And then if they're undefeated, do you think they're gonna fucking sit down and all that shit? I don't. I think they will try to get undefeated.
Depends, I think. If they go behind, they're not going to be trying to get back.
And I always think it's dumb to go, oh, well, let's rest our guys. But you're off the next week too. So what do you want? 2 fucking weeks off and now be rusty as shit?
But the thing is though as well, like, who gets the 1 seed if they do go 15-1, and so do the Chiefs?
Then it's who did the Chiefs lose to? They lost to the Raiders. It's going to be who does the Pittsburgh lose to? Do they lose to an AFC team as well? If that's the case, then it has to go to another fucking tiebreaker. Then I think it's strength of schedule, which means I think Kansas City wins that because I think they've had a harder competition.
Yeah, it's fucking complicated because it could be that. It could be that because the Chiefs don't really have a game. I think they could lose. I mean, they could lose to the away. They could lose on the road to the Saints.
They could also possibly lose this week to Tampa.
No chance.
Not a chance, huh? Okay.
No.
All right. Vegas goes into Atlanta. Vegas is 6-4. Atlanta is 3-7. I never have a faith in Atlanta at all. I think Vegas is favored here. I would say Vegas is favored by 5.
Where have I got this? Atlanta are getting 3 points. So it's Atlanta plus 3.
Only 3. I think this might be one to be good on.
This has been professionally bet 2-3. So this isn't like public money.
Mm-hmm.
These are like $1,000 bets from like so imagine being this guy, right? There are people who bet games, and when they see their name putting in their bet, these bookies will like call each other, and they'll be like, oh, like Steve Williams came in. Steve Williams put $20,000 down on on Vegas money line, and they'll be like, oh shit, like maybe we've got our line wrong, and then around Vegas they'll start. It's called like respected money, and if there's enough like respectable like money, obviously the phone call is a bit of an exaggeration. It probably just happens at separate books, but once one book moves it to 1, then the other one will move it to 1, and then they'll start getting, and the ones that don't do it, they'll then move it because people will go to them. Anyway, the point is that respectable money has bet this so much that it's gone up to 3 because it was a pick. That's how they listed it. They listed it as a pick like 2 days ago.
How could that be? I mean, I do understand West going East, but fuck. I mean, come on. They almost swept Kansas City.
No. I'm saying that it was a pick, and now like everybody's bet Vegas, so Atlanta are getting the points.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm saying, how the fuck is this a pick? Yeah, because Vegas is fucking good. So why would this be ever be a pick? I can't bet. I would have been jumping on it too.
I was fucking trying to be Mr. Clever last week, and I thought, I understand this Atlanta team. They get results that they're not supposed to get, and when everybody's on them, they'll let you down. So I did the contrarian thing last week and thought they were going to win on the road to New Orleans Saints. New quarterback trying to adjust, division rivalry, but that New Orleans defense is the best in the whole league. I know that it doesn't statistically reflect itself right now because they're not number 1 in DVOA, but nobody holds Atlanta to this many points. The way you beat Atlanta is you just fucking outscore them. You don't like stop them like the way New Orleans did last week. So I don't know, like this week, I don't know what to do with this game, but I think that it will just have a lot of points. So yeah, I would take the over on this one, but I'm just going to try and find out what that is, unless it's been already over adjusted.
Yeah, both don't have a defense. That's for sure.
Yeah, where is it? Oh, it's actually a normally listed game. It's 54.5. I think that'll be okay.
Yeah. Okay. The Chargers are 3-7 going into Buffalo, who is 7-3. I think Buffalo will win this game. Like we said, the Chargers are close. As soon as they get rid of their coach, they'll be better. I would say Buffalo has got to be favored by. Buffalo should be favored. Oh God, that one's hard for me. I would say 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
Oh, look at that. And I would take Buffalo in this because I think they will win by more than that. The problem is when you get that funky 3-7 score, and then you start trading touchdowns, and then it's that fucking. It gets weird eventually because it'll become it's that 4-point part. You know what I mean? Like the Kansas City game. It kept going back and forth to where it was only 4 points, and so you knew you weren't going to cover because you're like, somebody's just going to win by 4 here. I'm fucked. That's what worries me about this one a little bit, but I would go with Buffalo. What do you think?
Yeah, Chargers like cover games. That's the problem. But it's like West taking this trip from West to fucking Canada, basically. Yeah, no, I'll take the Bills here. I think eventually Chargers are going to stop covering spreads. They're just going to be tired of like losing games. Their saving grace so far is going to be, look, we're in every game. We're close. Next season, we need a few more pieces. But I don't know if that narrative can continue through the whole season. I mean, Bills now, they're going to want to get this Division 1. They're in just a few games. Miami losing last week. The Bills aren't far off winning this now.
The Giants are 3-7, and they're going into Cincinnati, who's 2-7-1. Did you see the video close up of his knee fucking coming out of the socket and popping back in?
No, I didn't see that.
I'll have to send that one to you. It's fucking it's gross. So he destroyed his ACL, his MCL, structural damage. Fucking Bengals can't get a break. Well, they got a break all right. But Joe Burrow is gone, which means all the hopes of any of these wins. I would have picked them to win this game against the Giants. They're home. And now their starting quarterback is not the guy who was the backup last week. It was a guy on a practice squad. The backup was so fucking bad, they said, oh, shit, he's our backup. Let's get the practice squad guy. And now the backup is still the backup. I will go with the Giants to win this thing. And I think the Giants are probably favored. God. I'll be nice and say only 3.
It's 5.5 points.
5.5. You know,
but I got Giants to win the NFC East, and I'm really happy.
No shit.
I'm really happy because this wasn't one of my wins, and now the quarterbacks got injured. Obviously, now it can be one of my wins, and the other wins I have them getting are. Let me have a look. 1 second. I got them getting to 6 now, but I had them winning the division with 5. That's how bad it is.
Jesus, you imagine that's going to be the winner of the fucking division? 5 wins. That's going to be so good. And then a wild card has to go there and kill them.
All right, so so now I got them beating the Bengals, losing at Seattle, losing at home to the Cardinals, beating the Browns at home.
Oh,
hold on, have I got that wrong?
Like that sounds.
Maybe I had them beat. Did I have them? I haven't beaten either the Browns or Cardinals at home, and now I'm on the show. It sounds wrong to take in either of those games.
I would, yeah.
They'll lose away to the Ravens, and they'll finish with a win at home to the Cowboys.
So they might get one more win after this. So they would get 5. They would get 5 wins. It would be this win, and it would be the Dallas win. That would be 5.
Okay, the 5 wins can still win them the division, but Eagles have that tie, and they're on like 3-1-7, I believe. So if they get to 5 wins, if the Eagles get to 5 wins, then they win it with the tie. But I don't have the Eagles winning any games except for the last 2. So yeah, losing at losing at home to the Seahawks, losing at the Packers, losing at home to the Saints, losing at the Cardinals, winning on the road against Dallas, and then winning at home to Washington, which takes the Eagles to 5, which gives them the division if New York get 5. But somehow, because the Bengals had the injury, I took this as an extra game. In my maths, I know what I did now. Because they're 4-1. They're 4-1 underdogs to win the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I've decided is that it was worth betting 4-1 that they beat one of the Cardinals or the Browns, and I don't think I decided what one. I just thought they would win one of the games.
I could see them more so the Cardinals than the Browns for some reason, just because it's a longer trip. Arizona,
you know what they could do? They could go and win in Baltimore, because Baltimore could just be, the wheels could be completely off by then. They may not even be in the playoff picture.
That's very possible.
They're so bad at the moment. Like if they lose this game against the Steelers, are they not 6-6? Or am I wrong?
Let's see. Baltimore is 6-4 right now, so they will be 6-5.
6-5, and 6-5 doesn't get you in. Doesn't get you in the top seats.
No, top seats for sure. No.
The lucky thing about that is that their schedule is so easy after that. Apart from going away to the Browns, they have the Cowboys at home, the Jaguars at home, away to the Giants, and they finish away to the Bengals, who are now fucked. So
Jaguars are pesky. Jaguars might bite them. All right, let's see. Tennessee 7-3 going into Indy 7-3. This is a fucking game right here. Oof. I would say this game is fucking nearly a pick 'em. I'll say it's 1 point favored for Indy because they're home.
3-point favorites. And they just beat this team.
Yeah, 3 points, man. I wouldn't really touch this game. Do you have a strong feeling about this game?
I don't know. It's weird because both these teams had like unbelievable wins last week. Yeah.
And the Tennessee one comes down in overtime.
But it didn't take long.
No.
I mean, if they just had Henry just march through. They went into field goal range and they played one more play to get them closer to the Cedars. They were trying to get like closer to field goal range, and Henry just broke out.
Guy's scary.
He just broke out and scored. And he did that. I mean,
I was pissed too because I had Baltimore with the 6, and I'm like, oh, good, they score a touchdown. But then again, the way fucking they do overtime, they won't kick the field goal.
See, you know how your ones, the dog that bites you is when you say tanking, right? And you don't believe in it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in revenge, because it's like going,
now I'm going to play harder.
Yeah, it's like we want to win every week. We want to win, but when we come up against a team that beat us, we really want to win. Like it's like you need to win anyway.
Yeah, right? I don't know. I mean, don't you feel more so? I mean, you played sports and all that. Don't you get more fired up at least?
Yeah, but I mean, you expect them to. How are they not fired up in the divisional round of the playoffs? Right?
Sure.
They were 2 games away from the Super Bowl, and I think they were like fucking 13-point favorites or something against the Titans, weren't they? It was some stupid spread. It was nearly 2 touchdowns when they played them last time, and they got beat outright. So they should have been motivated to win that game. And like, what's your motivation going to do when last time this guy like ran all over you? Like, what's changed like in that game? Also, and I'm saying this as someone that took Ravens, because like I sometimes fall for that, but it was more a case of me looking at the loss the week before, and I like to take teams off bounce backs. I like them to go away, make adjustments, etc. Plus, the loss against Patriots was a lot of it was like weather orientated. That was definitely one of those home situations where one team practicing that fucking dog shit and the other team like are playing in it for the first time, and it's like, what the fuck is happening to us? And you could see that from when they panned into the player's face. Like Lamar Jackson looked like he didn't want to be there. You could just see his face through his helmet. But like I thought they were like bounced back. But yeah, it wasn't down to the whole revenge thing. I tend not to ever say that because I just don't believe in it. I believe in tanking like more than I do on revenge because I do think some players will think that, well, my position's safe. They're not replacing me. But revenge, I don't believe in at all. And yeah, he ran all over them again. Plus, Lamar has become like a lot more predictable as well because he only did like one or two things, and now everybody's like aware of it. So I don't know. With this game, you tend to like go with the team that won. Your logic would be in all other sports this logic works, but it doesn't work with the NFL. But you look at it and go, this team already beat this team, and they beat them on their own patch. Yeah. But then that just ends up coming to like, look, the total. Well, I'm gonna swerve it and just go to the total here because I don't think this Colts defense is elite. And last time they put up a load of points, and I think it will go over 51. And people are betting that because it has moved from 49 to 51. And before those guys, these professional bettors put more money on it, I'm going to just pick it at 51 because I think these guys put up points on each other. This Indianapolis defense is not good. They've looked good against shitty teams like you guys, but I don't think that they're very good.
Well, listen, anybody against that offense of the fucking Bears, what are you out here fucking? Me and you by ourselves against that offense, I think would do well.
One thing, by the way, that we sidestepped. I never made my pick on the Giants game, and it's only significant because we never moved on to the total. Okay. My lock this week, if I'm my lock this
You're
week,
allowed.
obviously. We try to do it on spreads, but if somebody asked me what would be your best bet of the entire week in terms of being able to pick anything for a lock, I don't know how the hell this game gets to 43.5 points because the new quarterback is not going to come in and score. The Giants are in my opinion, are one of the top 10 defenses in the entire league, and the Giants aren't great at scoring either. So the Giants are not going to get to 20 points in this game, and the Bengals are definitely not. I don't think this even gets to 33.5 points, Cav. Jesus. Let alone 43.5. Tell me the situation or what both teams have where this is at 43.
Maybe it's going to be pick six. It's very possible that the Giants run back a lot of interceptions.
Maybe, but
you imagine that's how you lose this 3 interception touchdown.
But then you side bet that with a defensive touchdown. Defensive touchdowns are always like plus money every game.
Yeah, that's a fucking. You're right about how the hell anybody's gonna fucking score.
I don't know how they reached that total. I heard like that at one point earlier on in the season because they were hitting so many overs.
Yeah.
That they started adding 6 points to all of the everything that they worked out. But I don't know if they're doing that anymore. If they were doing that, I could understand that here because this should be 37.5. At 37.5, I may not be as confident, but I still would be confident, but not enough to say that I'm putting this in as my lock. At 43.5, I have no idea.
So this might as well be at 100 for you.
What do you mean?
The over under might as well be at 100. You're that confident that it's not even getting close to 43. The same way as it wouldn't get close to 100.
Look, you need 6 touchdowns in this game between these two teams, or a lot of field goals to like compensate for it. Like
there's not enough time.
I don't know. For me, it just feels like the Giants win like. I don't know, like 17-10, something like that. I just, I don't know.
All right. Carolina 4-7, going into Minnesota, who's 4-6. I will. Jesus Christ! You get on that Minnesota bandwagon for a minute, and then you go, wait a minute, they are shit still. And is Teddy Bridgewater playing? I don't know. I would pick Minnesota to win this just because they're at home. If this was in Carolina, I'm picking Carolina. I think Minnesota's favored by 3.
I think you're right. Hold on. They are favored by. No, I've gone too far. I've gone to Green Bay. 3.5.
Okay. Carolina plays fucking tough, man. God, I can't believe.
Here's the other thing I was about to say. Here's another one of their expressions that they like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they look past the Cowboys.
Yeah.
What? Every single player. Like.
Yeah, they're looking at their next game. They're like, that one's easy. I'm not going to pay attention to it, and then they get bit. The last week, Carolina and Detroit were playing, and then I hear Stafford is playing, but Bridgewater isn't. I fucking threw 50 on that game too, on Detroit, and I go, oh, this is it. And I'm like, oh my God, they got killed. And I'm like, you didn't play with Bridgewater, and they fuck got killed. I take Minnesota in this one. That run game, because they're susceptible to the pass. Carolina, they could stop the run, but with Dalvin Cook, he's really good at the run. So even if they're stopping him, they still have to know that they're probably going to hand off to him, which makes it easier than to pass on them. The run opens the pass opens the run.
Yeah, I think that I'm now in no position to take Minnesota because I already bet them. I got carried away, and I bet on them to get over 8 wins in the middle of this, like a few weeks ago. So after they beat us, I took them to get like over 8 wins because I figured that they would. So I was even tempted to take them to qualify to make the playoffs. I'm glad I didn't take that. I just took them to win 8. So I now need them to win every single winnable game that there is, and this has to be one of them. And then they have Jacksonville next week, because I had them getting to 7-5 with this schedule, and now they only have to get there. Now they can only get to 6-6. So in their last 2 games, I need them to beat the Bears and I need them to beat Detroit, and that only gets me my money back. In order for me to get for me to win it, they need to either beat like Tampa or New Orleans, I believe, is on their schedule. So, yeah, I don't even want to talk about this game. I just need Minnesota to win it, and that's it. And it's just like, I do like in the NFL. I do like Minnesota massively underachieving, and Carolina massively overachieving. Like last week, Carolina won by 24 points. And they were getting 3. So they won by 27 more points than they were supposed to. Whereas Minnesota, they underperformed their spread by 10 points because they were 7-point favorites who lost by 3, I believe. Or they lost by 4. So they underperformed by 11. So accumulatively, these teams were 38 points outside of the spreads that they were set last week by one of them doing the unthinkable and winning by 24, and the other one losing by 4. So their spreads were like way off. So I think for that reason, I'm going to take Minnesota.
Okay. Arizona 6-4 against the reverse New England Patriots, who are 4-6. I am actually taking New England to win this game. It's west going east. It's cold weather. Arizona's weird to me. They're up and down a lot to me. And if they were at home, I would pick them. But being in New England, I'm not. And, God, I think this... God, I don't even know if I'm crazy for picking it and they're not favored or if they are favored. I really can't get a feel on who would be favored in this, to tell you the truth. Arizona's the better team, so I guess they're favored. I'd say they're favored by 2.
Yeah, Arizona. I saw this one earlier. Yeah, Arizona are favored by 2.
Well, look at that. I should start doing fucking spreads. What the fuck? I'm good. This is crazy shit. There's some that I'm way to fuck off, but I mean, fuck. That one I really had no clue. and then said, they're better. They're on the road, though, so not too much. Blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I will take New England, and if they're getting points, I'll really take New England.
Yeah, usually the way you work it out is that, so normally the better team is on a neutral field is 3 points, and then you add like another 3 for
how many extra wins or something they have over the other team.
No. Like so if this was 2 point, if Arizona are 2 point favorites here, then they should be 8 point favorites at home.
Wow.
That's how it should work.
Jesus.
I don't know if so it would be like, so you'd add 3 more for neutral. So you go from, if once a line has been made, the bookies are basically telling you if this was a neutral field, they'd make Arizona 5 point favorites. If this was in Arizona, they would be 8 point favorites. That's usually how it was done. That sounds about right as well, because if they're laying 2 points here, you'd think they'd be laying over a touchdown at home.
It's hard for me to think like that Belichick just always has bad games or something. Like he's the same way I say about Tampa losing twice and, certain quarterbacks losing twice, things like that. It's really hard to picture when you're like, oh, Belichick doesn't fucking shit the bed.
This team do what they've not been able to stop all year round. Like the Ravens pass has been worked. The way the Ravens like to pass has been worked out. The things that Lamar does has been worked out. But in this situation, straight up good passers like Deshaun Watson beat this team easily. The 49ers beat this team easily as well. And Russell Wilson put up 35 against them as well. So it's difficult for me to not see
Kyler Murray.
Sorry, my mind's blank. My TV went on. I thought it was going to make a noise. Kyler Murray. It's difficult for me not to see Kyler Murray like passing all over this team and scoring having 3 touchdown passes over 2.5 touchdown passes. I think is a good bet here. And I think they'll score 20. I think they'll score like 24, 25 points here. I just don't see what New England are going to be able to do about it. They're terrible. Like it's all right being. It's going to have to be. This is going to be a game day decision where it's going to be like, okay, it's fucking this many degrees, or it's snowing it, it's chucking it down, and the only way, if this becomes a game where
if it's snowing,
it's not safe to pass, where the wind is taking it all over the place, then obviously you take the Patriots. But if it's like a normal kind of day where it's just a little bit windy and cold, I think Kyler Murray's pass can overcome that, and they can win this easily.
Miami is 6-4 against the 0-10 Jets. Are the Jets going to win a game this year at all? I do not think so.
If it is, it could be this one.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I was thinking. The only one that could bite. So it's always going to be a bite someone in the ass game. I guess when you're 0 and whatever, it's going to be a bite in the ass if you lose. I would say Miami's favored here by. God, I think everybody's usually favored by fucking 9 at this point with the Jets. So I'll say fucking 9.
Just 7.
Only 7. I when it's on numbers like that, it scares me because I always just think you rest when you're up by a touchdown, like toward an ending type of thing. Like if you were up by 10, like I said, you go, it's 2 scores. So you don't really give a fuck if someone marches down a lot.
You know what? Because I didn't have money on it last week. I didn't even realize the Jets covered the spread last week. They must have made some ridiculous comeback in that game.
Yeah, what's funny is I heard somebody say they picked the Jets to actually win that game. And that had me nervous because I'm like, fuck, I got fucking Chargers. This is bullshit. God, if I had
they've covered 3 out of 4 spreads, so I think they might cover another spread this week.
God, I wonder when fucking Darnold's ever going to come back, or if he'll even bother. I don't know if he'll ever play for the Jets again, to tell you the truth.
The next 2 weeks, Cav, is the only 2 games they can win, by the way.
Who they got?
Because after that, they ain't winning a game, 100%.
Who they got?
So they could beat the Jets this week, and they could beat the Raiders at home.
They could beat Miami this week. Okay. And the Raiders at home? You imagine? The Raiders at home. Oh, my God. How embarrassing for whoever loses.
Listen, after that, they go to Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
They host the Browns, and then they go to the Patriots on the last day. The Patriots aren't going to let them win.
Watch if Darnold's playing. Oh my God! Watch the fucking New England end their season with that shit. Oh, that's. You know what? I don't know if that's crazy. Or the Browns. The Browns like to fucking disappear too.
The Browns are going to be on the verge of the playoffs at that point where they're going to be needing to get like their 9th, 10th win of the season. So I just don't see it, to be honest.
You taking Miami here?
No, I'm taking Jets +7.
Okay.
I'm not. I think Miami win the game, but I think that I'm going to just take they've covered 75% of the last 4 games, so I'm going to just take them.
I want to say this will end.
I
want to say this will end with 7 points. That's my original thought, but I'll take Miami if I have to take anyone. Cleveland 7-3 going into Jacksonville. The one-time former Chicago Bear who got $20 million guaranteed is starting this game. Do you know who that is?
No.
Glennon. Mike Glennon is starting for the Jagoffs. My God. Cleveland's got to be favored by... I think they're favored by 7 as well.
Just 6.5 at the moment.
You know what? Then I would take that. Glennon is horrific. He's slow. They're going to get to him. I don't know if Myles Garrett's back from being COVIDed out, but Glennon's not running anywhere.
See, he doesn't have that kind of record where, like the backup record where he's terrible. Like, look at like the Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
When he was at the Packers where he lost
Hundley.
every game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hundley. Glennon's 6-16.
As a backup going to do a fill-in job?
No, just his lifetime record is 6-16.
Well, he was a starter for Tampa Bay when he was drafted. They thought he was going to be somebody. Jesus Christ.
I remember the name.
You imagine the fucking Bears GM. He takes him. He pays him $20 million and then drafts Mitch that same exact fucking time. Why are you paying Glennon then? If you're drafting, you're moving up to number 2. And then you have the guy can't evaluate a quarterback, and then they get fucking Foles. This guy should be fucking dragged into the streets. He can't evaluate a quarterback for his fucking life.
So the Jags defense was sent home at some point this week because one of them tested positive for COVID.
Oh boy!
So they all went home. But like, there's still a lineup for this now. So
this will be interesting. I'm picking Cleveland. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely Cleveland.
Okay. New Orleans is 8-2, and they're going into Denver, who is 4-6. This game scares me because it took them a while last week to get going. Them being in Denver is what gets me a little bit, but I would say New Orleans is favored by 5.
I fucking have to keep coming in and out of this when I go into a game. New Orleans are favourite by 6.
Okay. Until New Orleans does lose, I will be taking New Orleans. Denver is a mess. Denver's not that good. But I really wouldn't want anything to do with this game, to tell you the truth. I think this is very much that Miami-Denver game where you go, okay, Miami's hot. They're going to win Denver, of course. Denver sucks, and then Denver gets them. This has that feel to me.
No, I think Denver won their game last week. They're not a back-to-back team for me. I think that New Orleans beat them and cover.
Okay. San Francisco, coming off a bye week, is 4-6. And they're going into a game that they beat before. They beat the Rams, who are 7-3. I think this is, as Billy likes, a revenge game. And I think the Rams are going to beat the living fucking piss out of the Niners, and I think Mullins is going to be running for his fucking life.
The Niners won a whole bunch of games in a row against the Rams.
I don't know about that. I mean, the year the Rams went to the Super Bowl, what was that? Was that last year? Year before that? Yeah, it was the year before. I don't think they beat them then. But last year, when the Niners went, I think they probably did because the Rams sucked. And then
3 straight.
Yeah, there you go.
3 straight. Yeah.
So this is where it ends. And I think the Rams are favored by 9.
No, 6.5.
Oh, fuck. I'm putting a fucking mark next to that one. Jesus. That's crazy to me.
I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers here.
Really?
I think I'll try and get it. Well, they had a bye week, and then they have they've 30 players out this season, and a lot of them came back during the bye week.
After the Rams got embarrassed by them before, I really don't. That's going to be my second fucking lock, I think, to tell you the truth. If not, I feel more comfortable with that than I do with Detroit.
What's your first one going to be? Green Bay?
No, I think it's going to be Detroit. I put so much on it, right? I mean, if I'm putting that much money on it myself, it has to be my fucking lock, even though it's fucking Detroit. I'll tell you what scares me about the Green Bay Bears one in 2.
You didn't tell me your reason for taking Detroit, other than
I just think they're a better team and they're home. It's just they were supposed to be good this year. That's all you heard, that they were good. And yeah, it's people saying it and you got to do it first. They're not a fucking horrible team up and down it. I don't know what the fuck is the problem in Detroit at all times. They're a cursed organization, but Houston is fucking terrible. And they do have Deshaun Watson, who is the fucking only thing they have. Well, they got Watt too. But this is, and like you say, they got killed last week, and Houston won last week. Fucking, I can't believe that Detroit being at home on Thanksgiving is not favored against Houston. I mean, Houston's just, it's a case of one team is better than the other, I believe, and I believe it's clear how much better. Even though it's only 1 game difference between them, I don't see it. I even bet my boss on this. He was like, "Oh, I'm all over Houston. You want to do a side bet?" I'm like, "Sure, $10. I already got 50 on this thing." Kansas City 9-1 going into Tampa, who is 7-4. Here's another thing that I wanted to bet instead of the actual game. I would guess that Tampa is favored by. Kansas City's got to be favored by. I wonder if they're only favored by 3.5.
No, I don't think so. Did you say 3.5?
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, sorry.
So they are. It's 3.5.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good. Look at that. I do get scared when Tom has a bad game. You know how that goes. You just don't. It's not going to be often. And Kansas City doesn't some great defense. So this might be a case of the other bet that I want to do is an over on this one. What is the over under on this? Because I thought I heard it today on a radio. What is it, 56?
It is 56. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with the over on this one too.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be over, but I think Kansas City are going to have over 30 points here. Mm-hmm. I just think even this defense that was very hyped at the start of the year, it seems like under Arians, the only thing that all the defense coordinator, I don't know who it is, but all they're doing is blitzing people now, and it worked against Aaron Rodgers, but it didn't work against Goff. So there's a big difference. I mean, that was a take notice game. That was like, okay, we need to look at Tampa, we're quietly coming along, and
Raheem Morris is their defensive coach.
Yeah, they were quietly coming along and beating teams that they should have beat.
But that was a real take notice game that they were going to be contenders in the NFC. And I think looking at their defense and how they shut the Packers down, it's just a case of being able to avoid the blitz. Now, Goff shouldn't be beating you. He shouldn't be moving the ball as easy as he could. And Mahomes, he's going to be able to run around the fucking blitz.
Yeah.
And be able to find who he wants to. He's not going to give. He's going to be the least affected by what their defense does out of anybody. So they're going to get fucking shredded. It's going to be first down after first down, score after score.
And this was my Super Bowl. Remember that?
Yeah, and your boyfriend's throwing an interception every game. He's already got 9.
Yeah, he's overthrowing. It's very odd. And missing things. You go, well, eventually, shit's going to catch up to you eventually.
Yeah, I think I'd take the 3.5 here. Okay. I would like to prefer. I prefer to buy it down to 3 just in case this is a close game. But I don't think so.
Sunday night is Chicago versus Green Bay, the oldest rivalry in all of the NFL. 100 years, 101 years. 5-5 Chicago on a 4-game losing streak, going against 7-3 Green Bay Packers. As everyone knows, Billy's a Packer. I am a Bear. I hate Green Bay. I don't think Billy hates the Bears. I don't think he grew up with that rivalry. So I know he knows it's a rivalry, but I don't think he gives a fuck. And also at the same time, it's hardly a rivalry when it's one-sided for so long. How is that a rivalry? It's always just beating the shit out of them. So the Bears do play them tighter. I know that. It's always, even when they've been the worst ever, they're always tight with them.
Mitch starting this game.
Yes, Mitch is coming back, which is very interesting to watch. And you know what? At this point, Foles is missing everybody. He's got happy feet back there. He's terrified. He's getting fucking beat up. He's a good relief pitcher. I don't know if he's, a seasonal quarterback for sure. And you got to see what you got in Mitch, because he's gone after this year. For the most, I think guaranteed he's gone this year, unless they go crazy and he fucking rolls. He's coming off being injured. I got this bet today, and I bet on it, and I saw it was 7.5. I think they've got to lose by 10 in this game. They have to lose by 10. And hey, as a Bears fan, I'm rooting for them to lose. If they win this, am I going to be upset by it? No, I won't be, because it's against Green Bay. But I will not be, Billy won't be able to bust my balls during the game going, oh, they're horrible. I'll be like, I got fucking money on the Packer. What are you, crazy? People always go, what are you, nuts? You bet against your team. Yes, they're going to make me money. These motherfuckers are going to work for me. That's what's going to happen. They're working for me, and they're paying me since they suck. I want the GM fired, and I want the coach fired. The only way this happens is for them to keep fucking losing. This guy was brought in, Nagy, as an offensive fucking genius. They're last in everything. They can't score. I think it's 8 quarters, 10 quarters, something like that. They have not scored an offensive touchdown. They scored a kick return. No offensive touchdown scored by this fucking team. 0 offense. It's amazing how bad. They have a guy on this team that can run like a lightning bolt, right? His name's Mooney. You would see clips from him on Instagram, this and that, where he will be gone. He is burning the corner, and they miss him by a fucking mile, or they don't throw to him because they have no fucking quarterback. Last week, his average, not last week, it was a bye week before, his average for reception yardage was 1.5 yards. They threw to him 3 times, and he got 3 yards. He got 1.5, or twice he got the ball. He got 1.5 yards both times. I'm like, this is a biggest fucking joke, the offense over here. And they waste a Super Bowl contending defense, because the defense is good. But there's only so much you can fucking do out there. And they're going to have to pressure the fuck out of Rodgers and really get in his ass to have anything happen. But Green Bay is a much better team, and I have money on this game already. So, yes, pick Green Bay here.
At 7.5.
Yeah, I got it with at 7.5. I saw it was 8 earlier in the week, and it dropped to 7.5. And I'm like, fuck, they're gonna win by 10. They're gonna win by 10. At the least, they're winning by 10. They can't score.
I got some interesting bets in this game. I already picked out.
Okay.
I like over 3 field goals, which is different to over 3.5 field goals.
Oh, during the game?
So
That's
if you
good.
only get 3, you push, you get your money back. So that is available. What did I say? At 4 to 5. So you have to put 50 on to win 40. So it's a little bit less than 50-50.
Okay.
But I still like it. If you want to go for the over 3.5, you want to take that risk, you can get out plus money at 6 to 5. It could happen. You could get 4 field goals in this game. I think they'll get 2 each. So I do think it will get to 4. Okay. I just think it's going to be hard to move the ball, especially in that red zone. I think what happens with the Bears is that so here's, I think it's going to go under 45, 100%, because the Bears are not going to contribute much to the scoring, and Packers do find it difficult to put points up on the Bears, because I think that they obviously are very used to playing against them. But where the fuck is this? Where's it gone? Oh, fuck me! I had this earlier and it's gone. All right, so the first half spread was 20. I don't think it was 22.5, but I'm just assuming it's half. I'm just going to go halfway. I think it may have been a point less, but when it comes up, I think that the first half total is to take the under in the first half total. I'm gonna say it's under 22 points here, and here's why. With the Bears, what ends up happening is they end up keeping games like tight in the first half, but then the defense is on again and again and again and again and again, and it's like eventually that ends up taking its toll. But I don't think it usually takes its toll early. So I like the under 45 points in this game. I don't see how it gets to 45, but I like under 22.5 a little bit more for the first half, because I think initially this is kind of like a 6-3 game to Green Bay until eventually, even if it's not 6-3,
they got to wear them down.
Even if it's 10-3 or 13-3 or whatever, like, I think it doesn't get to 22 points in the first half for me. And I think eventually, like, your 45 will be in a lot more danger than your 22. But I don't think any of them are in danger. I'm looking at like between 9 and 16 points in the first half, and then possibly 20 plus in the second. But nowhere near 45 and nowhere near 22. So both halves of this game, I think cash, and marginally on the total, I would take Green Bay to do it, to cover it. But I mean, I have this as a 23-13 kind of game. So
do you see if Hicks is inactive? He's a defensive lineman on Chicago. If he is inactive, I would put money on having your run game for the over, whatever the hell they have it at. Because without him in the middle, people could run. With him there, I would take an under. But he pulled his hamstring last week, so I don't think he's going to be there, or the week before.
There's no player props yet. They don't put those out yet.
Okay. Because, I know they were going to say the actives and inactives today, and I never heard it. So if he is out, and then they also have their safety who might be out because he's in quarantine right now because he was around someone who had some shit. So then the passing game could really open up for Rodgers as well if he is out. But I don't think he will be out, though. I think that would have already said he tested positive.
Yeah, I also like the Bears under 17.5 points in this game.
That's, I like that too. It's a miracle if they get to 17 points. I'd be like, oh my God, that's fucking crazy. You know what's funny is Nagy hasn't said who's starting because they're trying to do that bullshit, and like, oh, you got me. I was preparing for Foles and you got me. I don't think it fucking matters.
No, I expect us to win this game, but it's a kind of game that I don't like the spread because we make the game against Jacksonville difficult. So
yeah, see, that's the thing when it's supposed to be, and then you go, well, I don't know. I mean, they see each other so much. Are they going to be like, they suck, who cares? They play each other too often and know how tough each other is all the time. When you see Jacksonville, it's rare, and you go, oh, it's garbage. And then they go, fuck, they're tough. Why are they sucking? I don't understand this. You don't realize. And then you finally catch them. But trying to see over here with the actives and inactives if there is injuries. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Well, it doesn't say who is out, though, but it does say he is injured, and he did not practice on Wednesday. So we shall see if that's the case, because it's not just saying flat out that he is not there. Okay, last game, and that is Seattle, who is 7-3 going into Philly, who is 3-6-1. Boy, Wentz looks like shit now. Guy was going to be the MVP before he blew his knee out. Who's his knee out? And Seattle should just beat the shit out of them. I think Seattle's probably favored by... Just because they're on the road, I won't go crazy, and I'll say 7.
I don't think it's 7.
No, because I was going to say 8 originally.
It's 5.
Okay. I would take Seattle in this.
They got that 10 days rest.
Yeah, they've been on. It's that long time off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is an easy one, though. I would go with Seattle.
Yeah, same. I don't think there's any way you can take Philadelphia against anybody at the moment. So
yeah, it's a prove it to me. That's the thing. Our locks, like I said, I was going to go with Detroit. They were getting 3 or 2. I don't even need the points. Like I said, I'm taking them straight up in there. My other one is going to be the Rams to cover 6. And like we talked about for over-unders, I did like the over, the 56 in Tampa and Kansas City. I know Billy has an over-under he likes as well as a lock for himself. What do you got?
I like 2 unders. So I like the Green Bay Chicago under 45.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get the halftime line, play it. That's why I'm taking that as my secondary lock. My first one was supposed to be Giants and Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the situation. I don't know.
Giants and Cincinnati.
Giants and Cincinnati, yeah. But I don't know if we ever made any rules about taking a total as a lock, or whether there needs to be a.
I think you could take whatever you want. You're telling someone to put money on something as a lock. I don't think there has to be any fucking rule to it other than, do you want to win money? Take this. This is my fucking lock.
My best plays this week are totals. Like there will be plays out once I start really looking at these games and look at the situations. Like, look, Arizona in normal-ish kind of weather on Sunday, which I'll have to wait till Sunday to see. I think they'll beat the Patriots easily. I don't want to be in a situation on Wednesday where I take where I take a game and then we've got disgusting rain and wind on Sunday that the Patriots are familiar with playing in. So I think right now, as I do it on Wednesday, and I look at that total, I want you guys to get the 43.5 points, like for the under, because the backup quarterback isn't going to come in and get them. If I had to pick a spread right now, I'd look at what Cav was saying, and I find it very difficult to see how Glennon ends up beating the
Cleveland.
Yeah, but I had it here. Yeah, I have a very difficult time to see how Jacksonville cover these 6 points or how they're even in this game. The only reason they don't is because sometimes Cleveland just don't turn up. But in recent weeks, it's just been a case of there isn't to just defend well and give the ball off to Chubb and limit what Bacon is doing. And you should win this game easily. I don't know why you don't. But yeah, I think at the moment, the under 43.5 in the Giants game, I think is going to be the easiest one for me, because I just don't see it. I just don't see where the points are coming from.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, and I'm going to grab that myself. This could be one that you could even Would you do that parlay? Would you take the Giants minus 5.5 and then as well as the under 43.5?
What the Okay, so here's an even better bet that you could do.
Okay.
Is you could take a teaser in this game where you take the 6 points off the spread for the Giant, which just makes it a money line play, right? And then you could add 6 points onto the total, which makes it 49.5. And that brings you to the same price. The only problem is you need the Giants to win then, as opposed to the other play, you just need under 43.5 points. But the teaser, you need Giants to win, but you have less, but you have more points that can go up. But I don't see how the Giants don't win this game. Like, the whole season depends on it. They really can make the playoffs. So, yeah, I guess Giants and under 49.5 is another way to play it. And I like that just as much.
Okay. All right, Billy. They've all heard where to go for my stuff at Lingus Mafia on Twitter and on Instagram. How about you?
Yeah, so I'm at lockbetting.com. Let me stress something now, because I have some idiot moaning at me that I rip people off. Patreon charged him today, and he's asking me why it's charging him again on December the 1st. Listen, I don't have to come on my shows and tell you how Patreon works, because when you pay, it tells you your next payment will be coming on this date. So he's pressed yes and asked questions afterwards. So don't even bother signing up for my service this weekend unless you want to get the service for 4 days. So that's kind of why.
So he just signed up for the first time this last week.
Yeah, and he did yesterday, and he's asking me why he's getting billed again on the 1st when he paid for 30 days. It's like you didn't pay for 30 days. That's in your mind. You paid for November. Like, they're going to charge.
They don't
you on
rotate by people's sign-on date. They rotate by first of the month and whenever the fuck you signed up.
Right, and the reason being is because there's some girls, you can have girls on it that do porn or whatever.
Sure.
Or some people that do music, and you can go and listen to all their music, and you can go and listen to go and watch all of their porn, and you can consume that content immediately when you sign up within those 6 days, and then you can get rebilled. It makes sense. With gambling content, it has an expiration date. Obviously, matches played, games played over, so there's no point unless you're just really curious. So yeah, December the 1st is the day you should really sign up now at this point, but that means missing all of this NFL. So I would just go with the leans that we're giving out on this show. If you miss a week, you miss a week, but it's a risk that you take whether you think you're going to make the $125 back by just pecking my stuff. I mean, bearing in mind that you're only going to get Saturday soccer and Sunday's NFL, I am telling you to leave it. But if you really want to get involved with it this week, I can understand it, because there's NFL, there's soccer, and Mike Tyson's fighting on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm ordering that. I can't wait.
I think it might be a bit of a letdown because of the heavier gloves and the
is it big fat? Oh, really? I don't even know all that shit. Fuck. Now I'm like, fuck. I figure it's a boxing match. What the fuck?
I think the only thing is that it's difficult to have Mike Tyson do an exhibition fight and stay within the rules anyway. So I'll see what it ends up looking like. I don't like the rules, and neither do a lot of people. But I think at the end of the day, when you're charging $50, I think by the time Saturday comes, we may see some different rules in terms of not being allowed to. It's apparent at the moment you're not supposed to try and knock your opponent out.
Oh my God. What the fuck does that mean?
The fight is supposed to stop if there's any blood.
Oh my God.
And it's not supposed to have any judges. So if it gets to 8 rounds, it's supposed to be a draw.
Just a draw. Holy shit. I didn't know any of that.
Which is why I've told people initially to bet some money down on the draw, because I almost feel like these two guys agreed to to come back and have a draw, because Roy Jones is a massive name as well. No one's talking about Roy Jones coming back when Roy Jones was the pound for pound number 1 fighter in the world at one point. But it's all about Tyson when Tyson comes out. So but I think I'll be all over the draw here.
Oh, I'm going to be doing that too. As soon as we get off this, I'm going to go put money on the draw. Hearing that, I'm like, they want to make more money. So,
but here's the thing: even if they do make some changes, the gloves are going to be the same weight. I don't think they'll have the guts to follow through with that cut rule.
You imagine first round, someone gets cut. Jesus Christ.
I think they're not trying to knock each other out thing. I think that's probably the fighters maybe on board with that.
How do you even go half speed, though? I mean, fuck.
It's supposed to kind of be like 8 rounds of sparring.
Oh, my God. Oh, fuck. I'm not buying it now. Fuck that.
And even if... But like I said, that I think all of this will get changed, at least publicly. Whereas I think that even if the judges are introduced, they could be in line with the fact that these fighters signed up for an exhibition fight where they were both told that neither of them was going to lose. That's just what I think. I mean, and then you could get judges in that go along with that. So, I mean, for me, it's just interesting to see Tyson even out there. And
I know I love Tyson.
And being able to like bet on it and whatnot.
Shit, I'm gonna fucking try to find this. All right, guess that's it. All right, everybody, go make that money this week and make up for that weird fucking week last week. We're going to, much like Tom and Aaron, we don't lose twice. That's it. All right, everybody, talk to you later.